Welcome to the DCTV News at Noon program. I'm Kelsey Kiesling.
And I'm Kendra Cook. Dolores County Broadcasting Network is the producer of DCTV with support from the Southwest TV Translator Association.
If you have a news topic or tips you'd like to see covered, give us a call. The studio number is 677-4119.
Today's show runs Tuesday at noon and is rebroadcast at 3 and 6 p.m. and again re-aired on Friday at noon, 3 and 6. Today is December 19th, 2017, and now the news at noon.
Reported by the Durango Herald, a three-vehicle crash last week on U.S. Highway 160 west of Pagosa Springs has left one dead and four others with serious injuries. According to Colorado State Trooper Josh Lewis, around 10:30 a.m. Thursday, a 2006 Dodge pickup was headed west on Highway 160 near mile marker 137 when it lost control and crossed the center line. Mile marker 137 is about 7 miles west of Pagosa Springs. After crossing the center line, the Dodge pickup hit the left side of an oncoming 2004 Toyota SUV, which collided with another eastbound vehicle, a 2008 Ford pickup, Lewis said. The driver of the Dodge pickup, a 27-year-old Neil Carroll of Loveland, was taken to Pagosa Springs Medical Center and died shortly after, Lewis said. Taylor Estrada, age 24, of Arvada, and a boy, passengers of the Dodge pickup, were taken to Pagosa Springs Medical Center with serious injuries. The driver of the Toyota SUV, Leslie Crone, age 69, of Pagosa Springs, was taken to Pagosa Springs Medical Center with serious injuries. The driver of the Ford pickup, Kelly Lewis of California, also was taken to Pagosa Springs Medical Center with serious injuries. On Monday, Pagosa Springs Medical Center spokesman Jesse Hensley said all three adults were treated and released from Pagosa Springs Medical Center. However, that doesn't clarify if they were released in good condition or transported elsewhere for additional care. Hensley declined to comment on the condition of the juvenile. According to a GoFundMe page, Carroll and Estrada, with their child, were driving from Colorado to New Mexico to join family for Christmas. Estrada and the child made it out of ICU and have a long road ahead of them, both physically and emotionally, the page says. CSP's Lewis said everyone involved in the crash wore seatbelts. Drugs, alcohol, and excessive speed are not suspected as factors in the crash, and no charges are pending, Lewis said. Lewis said weather conditions, specifically icy roads, are the suspected cause for Carroll's vehicle losing control.
In our ever-expanding notoriety for Colorado being a bicycle and trail destination, now more lands may be open to the pedal enthusiasts, according to an article in the Journal of Cortez. Mountain bikers have long been banned from wilderness areas because of a phrase in the 1964 Wilderness Act prohibiting, quote, mechanical transport. But a bill being considered in the U.S. House could change that. H.R. 1349 would amend the Wilderness Act so that the use of bicycles, wheelchairs, strollers, and game carts are not prohibited. On December 13th, the bill introduced in March by Representative Tom McClintock, a Republican from California, passed the House Natural Resources Committee by a vote of 22 to 18. It will now be voted on by the full House. It still needs to be considered by the Senate. If passed by the full Congress and the President, it would give local land managers the discretion to decide if certain trails in wilderness areas could be opened up to mountain biking, including in the local Lizardhead, Hermosa Creek, and Weminuche wilderness areas. The idea is controversial even among biking groups. Opponents argue the mountain bikes violate the intent of the Wilderness Act to minimize human impacts on pristine lands. Proponents say the act was created before mountain biking existed and did not intend to ban those areas to human-powered activities. In testimony submitted to the House, the International Mountain Bicycling Association said they do not support the bill to allow bicycles in existing wilderness areas. The group works to encourage mountain biking-friendly land protections, including severing popular biking trails from proposed wilderness areas. Another biking group, the Sustainable Trails Coalition, is in support of the bill, said board member John Fish. He emphasizes that the proposed amendment is not intended to give universal access to all wilderness areas to mountain bikers. The group believes the Wilderness Act has been misinterpreted in its ban of bicycles. Quote, the intent of no mechanized was to get people out of the cars and get them out to enjoy the land under their own power, he said. Other non-motorized mechanisms are allowed, such as cross-country skis, which are a mechanical advantage, or oarlocks on a floating raft flowing through a wilderness area. He said the bill would return the decision on whether to allow mountain biking in wilderness areas back to the local land managers. To accommodate the disabled, wheelchair use is already allowed in wilderness areas under a 1990 amendment to the Americans with Disabilities Act. Wheelchair use in wilderness areas is limited to devices suitable for indoor pedestrian areas, according to the amendment, and trails do not have to be constructed to accommodate them. The proposed bill to allow bicycles in wilderness areas is opposed by a coalition of 133 conservation groups.
Reported by the Cortez Journal, Rick Stallings, who was accused of killing longtime Durango resident Karen Cuganini, was found guilty of first-degree murder Monday and now faces a possible life sentence without parole. Stallings is no longer a threat to our community thanks to the great work of Detective Katie Robbins, the entire SJCSO Detectives Division, and the District Attorney's Office, San Juan County Sheriff's Office, Undersheriff R. Shane Ferrari said in a prepared statement. We hope the Cuganini family has some peace and relief with the guilty verdict. According to the San Juan County Sheriff's Office, Stallings was also found guilty of aggravated burglary with a deadly weapon, a second-degree felony, as well as 3 other felonies: unlawful taking of a motor vehicle, theft of a firearm, and theft of a credit card. Stallings has a pending trial for additional charges of possession of a firearm and battery on a peace officer, the San Juan County Sheriff's Office said. The murder charges date back to October 2015 when Stallings, then 50, was arrested and accused of breaking into Cuganini's home in Flora Vista with the intent of stealing the 69-year-old's belongings. Authorities, however, believe Cuganini walked in on Stallings during the burglary and the Farmington man reacted by shooting her. 2 days later, Stallings was located at another home in Farmington and caused the situation to escalate to the point where a SWAT team was called after he refused to come out. Since the murder, Stallings has continually caused delays in his trial. It was unclear Monday when Stallings is scheduled for sentencing.
With every municipality working on the pains of creating and affording budgets for 2018, Colorado Public Radio ran an update on how there are winners and losers in the GOP tax bill, and a lot of the coverage has focused on what it means for businesses and individuals, but state and local governments have a lot at stake too. CPR stated the Republican plan will add about $1.5 trillion to the federal deficit, yet it potentially will add money to Colorado's coffers. State budget experts estimate roughly $300 million more in state taxes will be paid as a result. And how, you may ask? Even though many taxpayers will see a rate cut, people's taxable income, on average, is expected to increase because of changes with federal deductions. Specifically, line 43 of your federal form, quote, taxable income, will be larger. That number carries over onto your Colorado return. Since the Centennial State's income tax is a flat 4.63% of your federal taxable income, a bigger number means more dough coming in. If states' budgeteers' estimates are right, the general fund increases 3%. That's not a seismically large windfall, but a significant amount nonetheless. An increase in state tax revenues of this magnitude could, down the line, trigger mandatory refunds thanks to the taxpayer's Bill of Rights. There's a Tabor limit on how much the state can collect before having to send some of that tax money back to citizens. This extra money from the federal tax bill will push the state closer to that limit. Part of the justification for these steep federal tax cuts is to invigorate the economy, and if that happens and leads to more state tax collections, then there could be state tax refunds sooner rather than later.
Reported by the Cortez Journal, a former Marine deported to Mexico 15 years ago after he was convicted of a minor offense has won his right to return to the United States and regain his permanent U.S. residency. Marco Chavez told the Associated Press on Monday that he was looking forward to reuniting with his 3 sons in Iowa after missing their childhoods. He is now 45 and they range in age from 17 to 21. An immigration judge's ruling last month is allowing Chavez's return. It came after California Governor Jerry Brown, a Democrat, pardoned Chavez. He was convicted in 1998 of animal cruelty for a dog beating, but said another person was responsible. He was sentenced to 2 years in state prison, was released after 15 months because of good behavior, and later deported. Brown said Chavez served our country, earned a pardon, and deserves to come back home. His wife initially moved to Tijuana with their sons so they could all be together, but life was too hard for the family in the violence-plagued border city where the schools were not as good as and jobs were scarce, Chavez said. The couple divorced and she moved to Iowa with their children. He plans to meet his parents at the U.S.-Mexico border crossing in San Diego before Christmas and will live in Los Angeles with them for several months while he deals with his residency paperwork. He then will move to Iowa and try to rebuild his relationship with his children. Chavez last saw his sons when they visited him in Tijuana in 2013. And now let's take a look at the weather.
Let's first take a look at the national weather forecast chart from NOAA that shows the mix of rain and snow, or rain and snow mix, throughout the Pacific Northwest, West, and Northwest along the low-pressure ridge that has been keeping snow and rain also in the forecast for the Great Lakes and up to New England. The high pressure remains in place in our west-southwestern region and throughout the middle belt of the country while we are watching the system that pulled in moisture from the Gulf Coast yesterday moving up further into Texas and across all of the south, leaving Florida and up the East Coast dry for down until we see how that large rain and stormy pattern will move with the next set of jet streams into the middle of this week. Regionally, there is a special weather statement out of Grand Junction. A strong and relatively fast-moving winter storm will track across eastern Utah and western Colorado Wednesday afternoon through Thursday. Snowfall is expected to spread across the area from northwest to southeast Wednesday night and Thursday. Exact snowfall amounts remain in question, but there is potential for at least some snow to fall at all elevations, including the lower valleys of west central Colorado and southeast Utah. Valley snowfall may vary between 1 and 4 inches, with 5 to 10 inches of new snow possible for most mountain locations by late Thursday afternoon. This storm will also usher in much colder conditions. By Friday morning, populated valleys will see low temperatures ranging from 5 to 15 degrees with below zero readings possible across the mountains and much of northwest Colorado. Another storm will impact the area as it approaches Friday and Saturday, bringing more snow and even colder conditions to the region. Conditions can change quickly and hazardous winter driving could be widespread Wednesday night and Thursday. The regional cold that follows the storm is set to remain in place into the Christmas holiday. The local 5-day DCTV outlook is as follows. Today, Sunday, with a high near 46, north-northeast winds are 5 to 10 miles an hour, becoming west-northwest in the afternoon. Tonight, mostly clear with a low around 22 degrees. East winds around 5 miles an hour, becoming south-southeast after midnight. Wednesday, partly sunny is how we started off with, a high near 46. South winds are 5 to 15 miles an hour, with gusts as high as 25 miles an hour. And then Wednesday night, the snow showers become likely, mainly after 11 p.m. Areas of blowing snow between midnight and 2 a.m. Mostly cloudy with a low around 24 degrees. South-southwest winds are going to be 10 to 15 miles an hour with gusts as high as 25 miles an hour, making for some blustery weather. Chance of precipitation is now increased to 60%. New snow accumulation of around an inch is possible, they are saying at this point. Thursday, snow showers mainly before 11 a.m. with a high near 31, which isn't very high at all. Southwest winds will be 10 to 15 miles an hour, becoming northwest in the afternoon. Chance of precipitation in the morning is now set at 80%, with Thursday night partly cloudy and a low down around 13. That's when the cold comes in after the storm. Friday, partly sunny with a high near 34. Friday night, partly cloudy with a low around 17. And Saturday, the national forecast is actually showing the potential of expecting a slight chance of snow showers after 11 a.m., but for here, partly sunny with a high near 32. We'll know more if that system will actually develop or not and bring that to you tomorrow. Saturday night, partly cloudy, will be a low around 10. So we may start seeing the single digits overnight into the weekend in places around Dove Creek. And this brings in the high temperatures that won't go over freezing. Sunday, mostly sunny with a high near just 27 degrees. Sunday night, mostly clear and a low down around 11. And now, back to the news.
Reported by the Cortez Journal, Denver authorities shut down 26 legal marijuana businesses Thursday and arrested 12 people suspected of illegal distribution of pot after a year-long criminal investigation. Potential charges relate to marijuana sales exceeding limits set in state law, police said. Colorado allows people 21 and older to possess an ounce or less of marijuana under a measure approved by voters in 2012. The city department that regulates marijuana businesses issued the order to close the businesses based on the police investigation, spokesman Dan Rowland said. It marked the first time the city has issued an open-ended suspension to any legal marijuana businesses since sales began in 2014, he said. Colorado has made a concerted effort to avoid a federal crackdown on its marijuana experiment, including police and government enforcement against illegal marijuana grows or sales. Governor John Hickenlooper highlighted those efforts in an August letter to U.S. Attorney General Jeff Sessions, who requested information on marijuana legalization. Sessions has been a longtime opponent of state legalization and has suggested the federal government should crack down. Special Agent Randy Ladd, a spokesman for the Denver Division of the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration, said the agency wasn't involved. Denver police didn't name any federal agencies as partners in the investigation. The city's order shuttered 26 retail stores and other marijuana growing facilities operating under the name Sweet Leaf. But the police investigation focused on 8 locations licensed by the company, and officers searched those addresses Thursday. Police spokesman Sonny Jackson said he couldn't provide more detail on the case because of the ongoing investigation. The department didn't name the people arrested.
In case you were wondering what's happening with our neighbors to the north, since there's not that much snow yet, Telluride, mostly known for being a ski town, has other activities going on according to the TellurideNews.com website. They write, Telluride already has its own brewery and distillery, and on December 2nd, a healthier drinking alternative appeared, a juicery. I didn't even know that was a thing. Anyway, LA transplant and Telluride local Joanna Grzałkiewicz, oh boy, her name, I'm sorry about that, Grzałkiewicz, started her own company called Telluride Juice Company to supply cold-pressed juices to the masses. The juice will be made in a commercial kitchen and sold as a grab-and-go space in the back of Apotheca Integrative Pharmacy on 129 West Colorado Avenue. She said the idea to press juice locally came from a recent observation. Quote, I was surprised there was no juicery here already. In May, I started looking into it a little bit and researching it. I had always gone to juiceries in LA and Hawaii, she said. Within a month or two of researching, it literally took a life of its own, and it just became clear to me it turned into this unstoppable force. I thought, I'm doing this, she said. The juices, which will be made in fresh batches every day, are made with all organic produce, some of which is sourced locally whenever the season allows it. In the summertime, I would like to source about 30% locally, she said. In the winter, that number is going to go down to about 5 to 10% because most of the local farmers aren't harvesting produce during the winter. Ranging in price from $8 to $12.50, the juices are a medley of healthy ingredients. Take the Palmyra Peak, for instance. It's made up of kale, green apple, carrot, pineapple, lemon, chia seeds, moringa, and spirulina. According to the company website, each juice can contain up to 4 pounds of organic fresh produce. And for those asking why cold-pressed juice, the answer is simple. According to her website, it is healthier than juice made in your typical juicery. The main difference is in the machine. Juices that aren't cold-pressed are typically made in a centrifugal juicer, which uses an ultra-high-powered rotating blade. The spinning blade moves so fast that it heats and oxidizes the juice, which then lowers its nutritional content. On the other hand, cold-pressed juice uses a machine that slowly grinds the fruits and vegetables into a pulp before being pressed under high pressure to extract the juice. A common criticism of cold-pressed juice is that they are wasteful. After all, the byproduct is a whole lot of pulp that otherwise may have been consumed in a regular juice. In an effort to be a sustainable juicer, the owner is donating that excess pulp to farmers and ranchers in Norwood. They're going to use it to feed their chickens and pigs and also for composting, she said. It's 100% organic pulp. Whatever product is left over will be used to make healthy doggy treats, she added. Grzałkiewicz also is bottling her juice in glass instead of plastic and is offering an incentive to recycle the bottles. Customers will receive $1 for every juice bottle they return and 25 cents for every elixir container. I think the Telluride community will really embrace it, she said about the concept. So for now, you'll have to make the trip to Telluride to purchase official Telluride juice.
According to the Cortez Journal, the Southern Ute Indian tribe will welcome 2 new council members and a new tribal chairwoman following Friday's runoff election. Unofficial results show Christine Baker Sage pulled off a narrow election victory against opponent Shane Seibel for the position of tribal chair. Baker Sage, who said in her candidate statement that tribal members should be treated with respect and concern, won by 63 votes. The seat was previously held by Clement Frost, who retired after 27 years in office. according to the Southern Ute Drum, the tribe's newspaper. Cheryl Frost and Cedric Chavez will fill 2 council seats previously held by Amy Berry and Tyson Thompson. Frost and Chavez beat opponents Deidre White and incumbent Berry with 240 and 273 votes, respectively. In his candidate statement, Chavez said he was running because he has been waiting a long time for positive change. Frost said she did not have a campaign platform and would not follow a timeline to accomplish goals. Tribal member Sage Remington called the election a momentous occasion and was pleased with the results. These are all new people, so it is a good transition, he said. They are younger and will hopefully convey some innovative ideas for the tribe. The elected chairwoman and councilors will serve 3-year terms on the 7-member board.
Last Friday, the Bureau of Land Management released the final environmental assessment and decision record for a lease modification for the King 2 coal mine near Hesperus, Colorado. The decision could allow GCC Energy LLC to expand its existing coal lease by 950 acres. Connie Clemenson, BLM Tres Rios field manager, said, quote, "This decision allows over 100 jobs to stay in our community, along with the economic benefits from federal mineral development." The BLM and the Office of Surface Mining Reclamation and Enforcement worked jointly to prepare the analysis. Public participation played an important role in the process, and the BLM received 128 comments on the proposal. Other state and federal permits would be required prior to mining the lease area. In addition to extending the life of the GCC Energy's King 2 mine by an estimated 5 to 7 years, the decision allows GCC Energy to access low-sulfur, high BTU British thermal units coal, providing a continuing supply of compliant coal that can be sold for use in manufacturing cement, local home heating, and operating the railroad in Durango. Coal production is a valuable economic driver for the state of Colorado. Coal mines on public mineral estates support close to 6,000 jobs and contribute about $42 million in federal royalties to the state of Colorado. The King 2 coal mine employs between 140 and 165 people, with total salaries and employee benefits estimated to be about $12 million annually. 6 producing coal mines on federal minerals in the state of Colorado yielded an estimated economic output of more than $742 million in fiscal year 2016. There are 51 federal coal leases in Colorado covering 60,000 acres. To view the environmental assessment and decision record, go online to blm.gov.
And now for the Dolores County Sheriff's Roundup for the week of December 11th through the 17th. A deputy assisted a semi that had mechanical problems on Highway 491 at Road P. The driver was already en route to Dove Creek for parts. A town resident called to report an IRS phone scam call they received. Remember, do not give any information to callers like this. Hang up. The IRS sends mail via USPS. Cows were reported out on Road 6. A deputy responded and moved the cows to an adjacent property and contacted owners. A deputy provided traffic control assistance to a stranded motorist in Cajon until a tow truck arrived on scene. That concludes today's roundup. Stay tuned for continued updates.
Today's High Canyon Country happenings. The Bureau of Land Management's Tres Rios Field Office is offering firewood permits for Ponderosa pine logs to the public following work to clear the Tri-State Generation and Transmission's right-of-way corridor west of the town of Dolores. The logs are in Dolores County, near County Road 16. To obtain the firewood, the public must purchase firewood permits at the Dolores Public Land Center, 29211 Highway 184. Permits are $8 per cord. With logs being about 16 feet long, the public will need to bring a chainsaw to cut them into manageable-sized pieces for loading. Removing the Ponderosa pine in this area was approved under an environmental assessment allowing Tri-State to upgrade its existing power line. For more information, call the Dolores Public Land Center at 970-882-7296. Southwest Colorado Community College Emergency Medical Services Opportunity. Do you qualify for free EMT classes? Southwest Colorado Community College is accepting applications for the EMT program, and you may be able to take those courses at no cost to you. For more information, call 970-564-6201. And in Dolores County, a notice that the Dolores County Senior Services will be closed December 27th through January 5th as they are moving. There will be no services available except dialysis transportation. They are sorry for the inconvenience and look forward to seeing you in the new year at the new location called the Pioneer Center in Dove Creek. Make a note that the new phone number is also changed to 970-677-2787. And all these happenings are posted on our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page, along with the YouTube replays, weather, and original stories and local posts. To share your event or information, contact us. The email is dcbnnews@gmail.com or call the station at 970-677-4119, and we'll be sure to get your news on air.
Thanks for tuning in. News at Noon airs at noon Monday through Wednesday and then is rebroadcast at 3 and 6 p.m. and again re-aired Thursday, Friday, and Saturday in the same order at noon, 3, and 6.
And be sure to check us out on Facebook. It's DCTV News at Noon. Please like us there and share it with a friend.
For Kendra Cook with DCTV and the News at Noon program out of Dove Creek, USA, I'm Kelsey Kiesling. Thanks for watching.